Hi y'all, this is Larry at Deep South Texas. It's the middle of July, but there's still plenty of summer left. So today we're going to make some hot dog buns for those outdoor grilling parties. And wow, these hot dog buns turned out great. Let me show you how I made them. Let's start with the yeast. I have 6 ounces of water that's just warm to the touch. And to that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of instant yeast. We'll let that set on the top of the water for a minute or two, and then we'll mix it in. Okay, let's get this yeast mixed up a little bit. Now, I'm using instant yeast, so I don't really have to prove my yeast, but in case you're using dry active yeast, you might have to go through this step. So I've got the water in there, and the recipe calls for 1/8 cup of sugar. I'm just going to put a little bit of that sugar in here with the yeast. Then we'll let that set and let the yeast bloom. It's been less than 10 minutes, and you can see that the yeast is foaming up real well, so it's in good shape. Let's add some more ingredients here. So this is the rest of that 1/8 cup of sugar. And I will include all of the ingredients and the measurements in the description of this video, and I will do that in both cups and grams. Okay, mix that up a little bit, and then I have 4 ounces of room temperature whole milk. And 1/3 cup of olive oil. We want our hot dog buns to be soft. Now we're going to set that aside and work on our flour. We have 3 cups of bread flour. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to mix that together. And start adding in our wet ingredients. A little bit at a time. And let's put in the last of it. And get this all mixed together. I may have to get my fingers in here to get it all mixed up, but we'll come back when we have that all mixed. There we have it somewhat all mixed together. Now we're going to dump this out on our breadboard and begin kneading it. Okay, so finish getting all of the flour and other ingredients incorporated together, and should make for a real nice soft dough for our hot dog buns. Now, we'll knead this for about 8 minutes. And we'll get back to you when that's done. Okay, I've been kneading for about 8 minutes and the dough feels pretty good. I have washed out my mixing bowl, and now I'm going to place the dough in the bowl and let it rise for 60 minutes. Now, I haven't oiled the bowl because I have quite a bit of oil in the dough, so I don't think it's going to stick, but we'll let this rise. Well, the dough has been rising for an hour, and it looks like it's ready to shape. So not too bad. Let's punch it down and then roll it out onto our breadboard. There, that's coming right out of there. It's not sticking at all. That's good. Now, we're going to make 12 hot dog buns. So we want to cut this into 12 even pieces. Now, if I was making these not on video, I'd just eyeball it, but since this is for posterity, I'm actually going to measure them out and make sure that they're all even. Okay, I need 12. Cut that in half. I need 6 out of each half. Let's cut this one in half. Now I need 3 out of each one of these. They say those look pretty even, but I will weigh them and even them up. So cut this one in thirds. And then we'll do the same to this. Cut it in half. And there's my 12 pieces. And there are my 12 pieces. They're all about the same size. See, this one I got a little piece here and stuck it on the bottom. We're going to begin shaping these now. So that one looked pretty even. That one looked even. Okay, let's start shaping these. I'm going to move them out of the way so I have room to work here. Okay, so we're going to start off by shaping each of these, just shaping it into a ball. Get a ball with a nice smooth surface on it. Pinch it together. And then we're going to just set that off to the side for a few minutes before we do the final shaping of the hot dog buns. So we're going to just shape these into balls first. All right, we have our balls made, and now we're just going to cover these with plastic wrap and let them rest for 10 minutes. So they've had a chance to rest. Let's start doing the final shaping. So what we want is to get as rectangular a shape as we can get. It takes a little bit of work, and we want that shape to be 5 inches long. So this one's not quite there yet, but the hot dog buns you buy at the store are 6 inches long, but the hot dogs they sell at the store don't get to be 6 inches. So it's a little bit, I don't want to make them too big. I don't like it when my hot dog doesn't fill the bun. I don't know about you, but so we get these at about 5 inches, and then we're going to roll them up. And that looks pretty good. Now, they will lengthen out a little bit in their next rise. So they'll probably be about 5.5 inches when they're done. But it's important to get them even. All the way across. So they don't balloon up in the middle. Pinch that seam down real well. And the ends. So there's the final. Let's see how close we got to our 5 inches. Yeah, maybe 5.25. I think that will be okay. Let's put them back in the pan and move on to the next one. This takes quite a bit. Seems like a lot of work for a hot dog bun, but your family will be impressed. Again, we're looking for that rectangular shape, about 5 inches long. Just roll it up tightly. And pinch that seam. Yeah, looks good. And there are our hot dog buns that have their final shape. Now, we're going to let them rise for another hour. We have them spaced about a ½ inch apart and covered in plastic wrap. In the meantime, in about a ½ an hour, I will start preheating my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, and I will include this heavy cast pan in the bottom of the oven also when I'm preheating it. I'm going to put about a cup of water in this pan when I put the hot dog buns in the oven. Well, our hot dog buns look like they've raised pretty well. One last thing to do before we pop these in the oven. We're just going to, I have an egg wash here. It's just a small egg with a tablespoon of water. And we're just going to brush the top of the buns with that. Help them brown up a little bit better, I think. All right, we have that egg wash on all of them and they're ready to go in the oven. Now when I put these in the oven, I'm going to pour 1 cup of water in that heavy pan that's in the bottom of the oven. Help them, give them a little bit more time to rise in the oven. They'll get a little bit bigger yet in the oven. So the oven has been preheated to 375 and they're going in now. And it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes for these to bake, and I'll be checking them at 15 and seeing if they're ready. If not, probably about 20 minutes. And here they are, right out of the oven. Now I got a little bit of melted butter here. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the top, try to keep them soft. There we go. I'll get those out on a cooling rack and let them cool off a little bit. But they're looking pretty good to me, looking like hot dog buns. Let's measure one here and see what we got. 6 inches. Yeah. So they grew an inch. So there's 6 inches. They're still going to be just a hair bit too big for the hot dogs that you can buy in the store these days. Well, let's see how they stand up to some ballpark franks. Okay, let's try one of these hot dog buns. Nice and soft. Cut one open here. Looks pretty good. I like a lot of mustard on my hot dogs. Mustard and onions. A bunch. Got some my red onions from the garden. And let's get a hot dog on there. Doesn't quite fill the bun yet. I still have to work on making my hot dog buns a little smaller. But let's taste it. A great bun and a great hot dog. Still plenty of grilling season left here in Deep South Texas. I hope you give this a try. If you enjoyed this video, please give it that thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.